Could Roman Reigns return to SmackDown next week? I think he will, and I have an interesting theory about it. Welcome to Allison Analysis. I'm Ben Allison, and I've analysed last night's episode of Friday Night SmackDown, and here are my 5 key findings. Before we get into it, if you could like and comment, that would be massively appreciated. In at number 5 is a triple threat United States Championship match on the horizon. Last night's segment between LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes and Andrade El Idolo made me want to see both LA Knight vs Melo and LA Knight vs Andrade in the near future. And while I think next week or whenever it will be Melo vs Andrade in a number 1 contenders match, I predict it's either going to end in a double count out or a double pin or just something with a bit of controversy leading to a triple threat match. A match with these 3 guys would certainly be an absolute banger, and I would love to see it. Then after Knight retains, well then you can do Andrade vs Melo once again, a 6th and final match where you decide the winner of the feud. Well, that is unless LA Knight does lose the title to either one of them, in which case the match would be for the title, but I'm going to be honest, I cannot see that happening. In at number 4, I predict Randy Orton will return next week. And let's be honest, this isn't some wild prediction. Last night on SmackDown, they teased a split between Grayson Waller and Austin Theory for about the 1,000th week in a row. It is getting ridiculous now, and there is still no signs that they will actually break up. But after their match with Kevin Owens, they challenged him to a tag team match next week on the basis that they don't think he'll be able to find a tag team partner. But these 2 guys must have the shortest memory in the entire world. Because Randy Orton's only been gone from SmackDown for about 4 weeks, and he was teaming with Kevin Owens before. It's so blatant he's going to return next week, but the real question is, will he return to help Kevin, or will he return to turn on him? I genuinely believe a Randy Orton heel turn could happen at any point now, and I think Kevin Owens is going to be victim number 1. And of course, once you have a heel Randy Orton, you can then build him up for a couple of months and then put him against Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble. Because I would love to see that match. In at number 3 is Nia Jax on to Tiffany Stratton. Perhaps it was just bad acting from Nia, but I don't think it was. She seemed extremely sarcastic towards Tiffany Stratton last night when she said, "Oh, Tiffany, I believe you weren't going to cash in." I mean, it was so obvious she was going to cash in. They've booked Nia Jax to be very, very smart since her return, and this is what worries me for Tiffany Stratton. The way this story is going, I'm really, really fearing that Tiffany Stratton's going to be the first female competitor to fail to cash in Money in the Bank. As I reckon, Nia Jax is going to see it coming, she's going to fake an injury at some point, Tiffany's going to cash in, and then Nia Jax will beat her. It would just absolutely suck for Tiffany Stratton if she does fail the cash in, because she deserves a title reign so badly, but at the same time so does Nia Jax, and I don't want this reign to end anytime soon. Additionally, if she does fail to cash in, that would mean that 2 competitors in the same year failed to cash in Money in the Bank, which hasn't happened before. In at number 2, what did Giovani Vinci do? I don't know who he must have annoyed, what unspeakable things that this man must have done, but they must just be crazy. He got kicked out of Imperium with no follow-up angle, then got drafted to SmackDown and did nothing for months, then for weeks he was built up with these promo packages, and then wasn't debuted in his home continent of Europe, but instead the week after in a match against Apollo Crews, which he lost in 3 seconds. What? In all seriousness, my only prediction is that WWE thought to themselves, hey, let's get people talking about this man, and let's do it by having him get squashed in his debut, and just for there to be an outrage on social media, because at least that'll get his name in people's mouths. And that's a ballsy tactic. I mean, it's worked, but whether or not that means people will find him believable from now on is a different matter. I think it's very risky. But at the same time, I kind of respect they're trying something different. And in at number 1, I predict Roman Reigns is going to return to SmackDown next week. Cody Rhodes vs Solo Sikoa is officially set, and it will be happening in a steel cage match. And despite this, I'm still sure a bunch of bloodline nonsense will happen, but I think Cody Rhodes will get the win. But after the match, I think the bloodline are going to enter the cage and beat down Cody. At which point Roman Reigns will return and he will save Cody. And this is where my theory gets very interesting, because I predict that either Bad Blood or Crown Jewel, we're going to be getting Roman Reigns teaming with Cody Rhodes against Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. And the reason for this is I'm still certain Hikuleo is going to be joining the Bloodline, and at War Games we're going to have the Bloodline versus Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn. And you might be wondering, why on earth would Sami Zayn and Jey Uso help Roman? Well, this is the interesting part, because I don't think they're there to help Roman. I think they're there to help Cody. So adding Cody into all of this, he can kind of link the two back up again and bring them into the same room. I mean, it would be hilarious if Cody Rhodes was the one to destroy the original Bloodline and then bring them back together. But what do you guys think? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And not just on that, but on the entirety of last night's SmackDown. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun show. But that's all for today's episode of Allison Analysis. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.